So to add on more to the chaos that is going on, I just got this notification from my news app from the Department of State ran by Mike Pompeo, another idiot. Uh Basically they have now lifted the level 4 travel ban that they put on the US back in March when the virus first kicked off, basically saying that there will be no traveling abroad, which means now American citizens are going to be allowed to travel outside of the establishment. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, how is this even going to work? Because of a multitude of things. One, many people have not been working since March. Some people actually lost their jobs. Where are they going to get the money to travel abroad? Many of them, if they have families, they have to scrape every penny they have right now to make sure that their family is taken care of. Number two, many countries have already banned the US from coming over here until the numbers go way, 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 way down, because they said they are too high. Whether the numbers are embellished or not, they said we are not going to take the risk of having anyone from the US come over here. And they'll know if they're from there because you have to produce a passport. Now, you know, they had seeing how this is coming out now. And that was just like, what, a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, when they said they were going to start re-administering passports. I think I heard that. I could be wrong. Someone let me know down in the comments. Number three, if no country or any country has not produced a ban for the US, they're about to do it now, which means what's the point of traveling? You're not going to be able to go anywhere. Like I said, it is some mental patients who have escaped the asylum, ignore the phone, that are running this shit right now. Like, I feel like this is pointless, but I know why they're doing it, because they need the money, and they know those airline companies are losing a lot of money, and airline companies and airports are government property. If they don't make any money, then the government makes no money. Like, that's basically what it all boils down to. And I have to give a shout out to BGS Itmore, because he basically said in so many words that people are going to end up getting sacrificed in order to better this economy, which is basically the same thing but in a more better tone than, you know, what some of those other politicians have been saying. But we know they only doing it because they trying to see this shit to the end. They're not trying to sacrifice themselves. They want to sacrifice everybody else. But that's what they're doing. But the thing is, without a population of people, you're not going to have an economy, because the economy is driven by the people. It's driven by money as well, but you need the people to help produce the funds. So I'm trying to figure out how all of this is going to work. I have not read the article yet, but the title alone just threw me off. It says U.S. State Department lifts global do not travel advisory. And it was at its highest level that you can go. I think it was like a level 4. But let me go ahead and read this. It says, after more than 4 months, the U.S. State Department on Thursday lifted its advisory warning U.S. citizens against traveling abroad. The department issued the level 4 do not travel advisory, the highest level of travel advisory, on March 19th, urging U.S. citizens not to travel overseas due to the pandemic. But here's the thing. If your numbers are still steadily climbing the way that they are, why would you lift that up? That's best for you to do when your numbers are low. And our numbers are still nowhere near low. Nowhere near it. This is all going to blow back up in their face. Like, I'm calling it now. However, with health and safety conditions improving in some countries and potentially deteriorating in others, the department is returning to our previous system of country-specific levels of travel advice, with levels from 1 to 4 depending on the country-specific conditions, in order to give travelers detailed and actionable information to make informed travel decisions. A Thursday note from State Department said, this will also provide U.S. citizens more detailed information about the current status in each country. We continue to recommend U.S. citizens exercise caution when traveling abroad due to the unpredictable nature of the pandemic. The level 4 do not travel advisory put into effect in March advised U.S. citizens to avoid all international travel due to the global impact of the virus and urged Americans in countries where commercial departure options remain available to arrange for immediate return to the United States unless they are prepared to remain abroad for an indefinite period. As a commercial flight, so basically what they're saying is, if you plan on traveling abroad, be prepared to stay over there for a long time just in case. See, and that's a risk that many are not prepared to take. Even especially the people that are over there where you're traveling to. As commercial flight options disappeared and borders were shuttered to combat the spread of the virus, the department undertook an unprecedented repatriation effort to get Americans back home. Between January 27th and June 10th, they coordinated the repatriation of 101,386 Americans on 1,140 flights from 136 countries and territories. Basically, people who went over and traveled abroad from at a certain time, some of them got stuck over there for months because this pandemic came out of nowhere and they couldn't travel back home. And they're basically saying you're running the risk. That's the other part. Number 4, you're running the risk. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, you got into one of those countries. If you got tested positive for that virus and you're from here, or anywhere for that matter, but especially from here, you're not going to be able to leave. You're going to be stuck there for a while, at least 2 weeks, or at least until they're ready to release you. And it may cost something more drastic than you just staying there quarantined for 2 weeks. I'm telling you, most of these nations, all of them, are not going to run the risk, especially since a lot of them have worked hard and smart to get their numbers down. They're not trying to go through what we're going through right now. Although the guidance from the diplomatic agency has been lifted, American travelers continue to face travel restrictions in countries worldwide due to rising cases of the deadly disease in the United States. The European Union and the United Kingdom are not permitting tourists from the U.S. to enter. Well, I say good for them. And every other nation should follow and show the damn U.S. how dumb and stupid they look for lifting this travel ban. Because here's the thing. You still have people that's traveling domestically who they're still coming out saying are catching the virus. So you want to open up the borders and have people travel overseas and still catch it and then possibly spread it to other people of other nations that work damn hard to get their numbers to a workable, sizable amount. You know, a lot of people can say that the U.S. is smart if they really want to, but like I've told people before, this pandemic right here has lifted up the skirt of America and has shown her entire twat and ass. There are restrictions on non-essential travel between the U.S. and its neighbors to the North and South, Canada and Mexico until at least late August. All I'm going to say is this. This will not end well. I'm calling it now. It is so blatantly obvious. This will not end well at all.